Hey everyone, welcome back to another complete Platinum walkthrough. This one is for Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, the remake version, and we're going to be doing 100% on Extreme on our first playthrough. You can get every single trophy in one playthrough. If there's anything you're not sure about, just compare what I do to another and you'll see exactly how easy it is. Yes, it can be a little bit easier if you do it on New Game Plus, do it in 2 playthroughs, but it's not a great deal easier. Like I say, you will see if you compare this to a New Game Plus Extreme. It's not a massive difference. The boss fight is still very hard no matter what you do it on. And all the New Game Plus things you can have available to you, they don't make the boss fights that much difference, if I'm honest. Yeah, so I'll be walking you through everything. I've got a full text guide as well. You'll find in the description. These pre-order bonuses, by the way, and this deluxe content, it's not required for the camo, so don't worry about that. Yeah, so I'll walk through everything. Like I say, we're doing 100%. On Extreme. If you want to follow this in 2 playthroughs, you can do. So if you want to follow me on your New Game Plus, yes, do so. You don't have to do it exactly how I'm doing it. I'm showing you an optimal way to do it. All these strategies as well have all been optimized. We'll be getting through a lot of fights fairly easy. The boss fights, yes, still take a bit of skill, a bit of practice, but it's no way around that. Like I say, even on Extreme New Game Plus, it's not going to be a massive difference. And if you come into your records, you can actually view a lot of the different requirements and whatnot actually in the game now. So if you come into records titles, you can actually find out what you need for Extreme. So that's what you need to make sure you adhere to, guys. Do not obviously fail any of them. So no continues, no alerts, no humans killed, serious injuries 20 or less, 5 life bars or less in terms of total damage taken. Do not use any life medicine, do not use any special items, and complete it in under 5 hours. Save limit does not matter now. You can save it as many times as you like. In the original, you had to save it 25 times or less in order to get Foxhound. It doesn't matter now. And now I'm just going through my settings. Of course, pick what settings work for you. And we're going to be doing this on new style. There are a few mechanics which don't quite work on new style. The same on Legacy. So on Legacy, you can still tilt left and right when you're aiming, from cover, and there's no bullet drop. But on the new style, there's bullet drop when you're shooting the Mark 22. Yeah, for some reason they put bullet drop only on the Mark 22 weapon. I guess just to make it a little bit harder, because modernized controls do make things a bit easier, and I've kind of done that to counter it in a way. And when you come into your question, when you start a new game, pick I like everything in the Metal Gear Solid series. Very important. If you pick a New Game Plus, don't really matter, but yes, on new game, pick the bottom option, I like everything in the Metal Gear Solid series. That's because we want to start with the grenade camo. Very important. Playstyle, new, of course. Difficulty, extreme, and then I'm going to choose high tips. It's up to you if you want to hide them or not. You get a trophy first. Yeah, cutscenes do count, but pausing the game stops the timer. Yeah, cutscenes still count towards the timer. Pausing the game stops it, but the inventory keeps it running. So if you want to watch the video, when you're watching it, guys, pause the game. And there's autosaves on every room on Extreme. So if you do want to watch cutscenes because you try and follow me on first playthrough, what I advise is save your game at the start of every room. Yeah, every room we go into, every area, where it's like a brief loading screen, save your game, go to the next one, save your game. Then if you watch a cutscene, watch it, and then reload the save afterwards, guys, and just go through it again and then skip the cutscene on the next view. That way you're not going to carry the time. Okay, so once we begin, yeah, go beneath this log behind you to the north, guys, climb up the tree in the middle and go across a branch and drop off to get your backpack. Yeah, a lot of these strategies going to be using, they're very kind of dependent on timing and whatnot. So be very, very careful with your timing, guys, in areas. If your timing is a bit off, you might find enemies facing in a different direction or in a different spot, and something might not work. So just keep that in mind. You can always reload saves if you need to retry something. And when you close a game, if you close it too long, by the way, it can make your food go bad. So what you might want to do, if you close a game for a long time, when you load it back up within a day or so afterwards, change your clock back manually to what a time was when the last save was made. That way, nothing will be affected. Okay, so after that cutscene, going to shoot your first Kerotan and your first Gecko. Yeah, you get them 2 trophies, Prince Charming. Yeah, these first 2 are together, so there's no collectibles in this one. So Ugly Duckling and Prince Charming. So shoot that first Kerotan and the first Gecko, guys. and then come at it. Yeah, be very careful with your ammo. Even on New Game Plus Extreme, you still got normal ammo. You can't use Infinite Bandana, of course. That's what I mean. New Game Plus Extreme isn't a massive difference, especially not when you've optimised your strategies. So go right, roll across a crocodile. Yeah, roll across them, and do not stay in the swamp for too long. You'll get leeches on you, and they count as a serious injury. So that's your Gecko. That Gecko in between the tree on the small island. Shoot that Gecko. That should be number 2. And the Kerotan is just over here. Yeah, make sure you try to roll across the swamp, guys, just so you're not standing in it for too long. And there's Kerotan, guys, just on the rocks on the right. That's it. If you press the pause button, you can see on the screen how many you got so far. And if you go on your records and titles, you can check your stats so far. So just keep an eye on that, guys. Make sure you have not got any alerts or anything like that. So in this next area, yeah, so after the cutscene, yeah, you have the codec call as well. Yeah, so you want to equip your best camo and start crawling forwards. Yeah, equip your best camo. Sometimes, by the way, the best one will not show up. You have to actually go into camouflage on the inventory screen. Yeah, because that quick stop, it only shows like last like 8 or 10 camos. And when you get a lot, it's hard to tell. So yeah, crawl over to him. Make sure you got your best camo index equipped. And once you see some of the exclamation mark, then you want to shoot him in the headshot. Then you can quickly run over to this guy. Quickly CQC slam him. Just run up to him, hold R2. Just make sure you're almost directly behind him when you're trying to get up to him, guys. Because if you're slightly to right or left, they might spot you. So this guy next. Remember, timing is very important. And now stick to the right and then knock out this final enemy. Again, I'm going to run behind him. Hold R2 when you get close. You have to be quick. If you're a bit too long, they will turn and spot you. So that's all the enemies. So now I'm going to shoot that Kerotan. And then the Gecko is back over here. So 4 enemies in total. The first one we tranked him by shooting him in the head. Yeah, so this is what I mean. Even on new game, still quite easy if you've kind of optimized strategy. So shoot that Gecko and then go into the next area. You know, I didn't even have to really use any super broken ammo to get through there without getting spotted. Right, in this next area, yeah, it's going to shoot down that hornet's nest first. That's it. Just wait a moment for the bees to start annoying the enemy. Get that trophy there, beekeeper. Once he runs away, shoot down the fruit. That's it. Then you're going to drop down. Now, do not forget to shoot the Kerotan on top of the bridge post. I almost forgot. Yeah, and do not go forward too quick, so your enemies on the far side might spot you. And when he runs away, scared by the bees, he makes all the other enemies follow him, and they run out of the area. So no enemies now. Yeah, shoot that Kerotan on that bridge support. I almost forgot to do this one. So I'll just come back, give you a better vantage point. Yeah, there it is. So shoot that Kerotan, guys. That's it. And by the way, when you shoot the collectibles, they remain saved now on your profile save, which is really good. Yeah, they remain saved on your profile save. So even if you reload without shooting it, it will still count as being hit. And there's the Gecko, guys. Straight ahead when you cross a bridge. And foods as well. You still have to get every food, but now you also have to eat every food at least once. But similar to the Geckos and Kerotans, so once you eat it one time, even if you reload, it will save as being eaten on your profile. Yes, keep that in mind, guys. You have to find every food, but also you have to eat it at least once. Right, so in this next area, Rassvet. So equip your best camo. That's it. Remain crouched and now follow the left wall and just carry on to the northwest corner. Like I say, equip your best ammo for this area and then follow the left wall to the northwest. Once you reach this final bit of grass, crawl and then keep crawling to the far corner. The enemies will go back to the grass to investigate where you went from a crouch to a crawl, and then follow the outer wall around this gap here. Crawl through it, guys, and then you can crouch and then run to the end, climb up behind the enemy and run to the door for a cutscene. Yeah, so I didn't need any New Game Plus ammo and still got through there without getting spotted. Really quick. That's it. Just approach that door, guys, and that'll trigger a cutscene. Now, this trophy coming up, you have to kill an enemy. So you've got to make sure after you do this, if you do continue, just make sure you reload the save afterwards. Make sure you do not continue. Yeah, never choose continue, guys, if you mess anything up. If you choose continue, then it will carry across any like kills or deaths, anything like that. You always want to reload a save. So I'm just going to make my first manual save here. Once you make your first manual save, you'll get a trophy. There we go, Cinephile or Cinephile. however you pronounce that one. Right, now we're going to equip the knife and we're going to slash the ocelot to death. That's it, slash them up into a few pieces, shred him, and get that trophy, time paradox. So I'm just going to exit, then I'm going to reload my save. You can either continue and then reload it, it's up to you. I'm just going to exit and then reload. That's it. And if you ever think you did mess up, as I said earlier, always go into your records and titles and just double check, because you can check your current records and it will tell you like your current time, how many kills, how many alerts, you know, things like that. Remember, you can see the requirements for extreme rank by going into titles and it will show all the requirements there. There you go, just checked, it's all good. Right, so now we're going to come across here. We're going to shoot this gecko. There it is, just on that shelf. That's it. And then come in here, past these enemies which are all knocked out. And the Kerotan is through that hole in the wall. Shoot that next. And before we leave this area, just make sure you eat them 2 foods we got. So we're going to lose them in a second. So open your inventory, go into food, eat the hornet's nest, and the Yabloko Moloko. Yeah, so eat them 2 foods. So that's that fruit done, and the hornet's nest. We want to get another hornet's nest later to lob at the pain to get his special hornet's nest. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, of course. Right, so carry on. Be a bunch of cutscenes now. That's kind of the first part of the game done, the Virtuous Mission. Next up will be where things really heat up. Yeah, Snake Eater. Right, so once you get control back, you'll have a lot of serious injuries. Yeah, so to cure these, yes, to cure the cuts, you need to use disinfect, styptic, bandage, and such a kit on each. And for the broken bones, you have to use a splint and a bandage. So I'll say again, guys, for the cuts, use disinfect, styptic, bandage, and such a kit on each. And for the broken bones, splint and bandage. That's it. Once you've fully cured yourself, more cutscenes will follow. Yeah, so Operation Snake Eater next. So now we have a weapon, but you'll be losing it a bit later. But a grenade camo comes in really useful because it gives you unlimited grenades as long as it's equipped. So yeah, keep that in mind. Whenever you're using grenades, guys, try to equip the grenade camo. So I might forget to tell you sometimes, so just remember, whenever you're using grenades, equip the grenade camo, unless of course I tell you otherwise. It gives you unlimited grenades, which is probably one of the best starting camos you can get on New Game. Okay, so I'm going to unequip the directional mic and the binoculars, because the more you have actually equipped, the more weight, the quicker your stamina drains. And now grab that mushroom behind you. So that's the Siberian ink cap. Grab the reticulated python in the grass nearby. Grab the splint flower on the floor and the styptic on the floor as well, beside the tree. Yeah, that's a splint and that's a styptic. So like I say, make sure you get that R mushroom C, which is the Siberian ink cap, and also get the R snake H, which is the reticulated python, and also get the 2 plants, the splint and the styptic. Coming here next, equip your weapon and shoot that Kerotan amongst these broken trees, and also the gecko. That's it. Once you've done them, then I'm going to get some on these trees nearby. So I'm just going to waste my clip fully to reload and get a magazine in my inventory. Yeah, so keep that mushroom on that tree. You'll get the R mushroom G, which is the Bakel scaly tooth, and also attack the mushroom on that fallen log to get the R mushroom A Russian oyster. Also, you'll get the antidote from one of them, and there's 2 more plants. You'll get disinfect and also the CMed 1 cold medicine. Right, in this next area, get your weapon ready, and there'll be a green snake hanging from the tree. We want to shoot this one down. Do not go too far forward, those are cutscene will trigger. Shoot it down. Now waste all your bullets. You'll get a few more magazines in your inventory. Yeah, shoot down the snake first. Grab the R snake F. Yes, which is the green tree python. Yeah, I try to space out all these things we're catching, because later on you can only have so much inventory space, and we don't just want to get loads of food now and just discard it all, you know, to make more space. So we're going to try to gradually get food as we go through the game, guys. Now, straight after you get control back after them cutscenes, spin around and go back through the southwest exit. Some enemies will be quickly coming towards your location, so do not hang around for too long. Spin around and go back into a swampland. Now in the swampland, we don't have a weapon now, so we want to equip the grenade camo, guys. There's no enemies near, so don't worry about your camo index. Yeah, equip the grenades. Now we're going to throw grenades at collectibles in order to obtain them, because that works. Right, going to roll across there just so I'm not standing in the swamp for too long. Come around this corner on the right, and this will be your Kerotan. You can either lob a grenade at it, the grenade has to hit it unless it's an explosive grenade, or you can just punch it by going into first person mode. Just keep punching and you'll eventually do a kick. There you go, so that's a Kerotan. Now roll across the centre island, and then roll across to the far side, and there's a Gecko, so I'm going to hit it with a grenade directly. Yeah, make sure you hit it. There you go, that's the Gecko done. Of course we've got limited grenades because we've got the grenade camo equipped. Roll across the crocodile and then go back into the first area. Yeah, because we're now on Operation Snake Eater, a load of new collectibles have appeared in these areas we've already been through. This is just how the game works. Yeah, once you complete Virtuous Mission, it kind of all out resets and gets changed slightly in terms of collectible placement and such. Right, once back in here, come this hill slightly in front and kick this first snake here. Yeah, this is the R-Snake G Giant Anaconda. Yeah, I don't know why I gave him two names. I was hoping they're going to get rid of this two named thing, but no. The item still says one name, but then when you collect it, it changes name. I was hoping they'd change the names to just one, but they haven't. It's still the same complicated thing. So there's the Kerotan. Lob grenade at it. That's it. Grab a chaff grenade nearby. Very important, you do need them chaff grenades. Basically anything I mentioned you need to collect. So lob a grenade at the Kerotan on there. Grab a chaff grenade. Come over here. And there's the Gecko. Again, make sure you hit it with a grenade. There you go. Once you've got the Gecko, you want to equip your knife and you want to kill this goat. Don't have a choice anyway because you don't have the Mark 22 at the moment. Yep, so knife the goat to death. He'll drop 2 foods, 2 Markor. That's it, grab them 2. That's it, the rabbit next. There'll be a snake here as well. Be careful with the snakes, it can poison you, so quickly knock it out. It's normally moving around this grass. So grab a snake, R-Snake A, which is the King Cobra, and also the rabbit, your European rabbit. Grab the normal grenades there. That's it, and that's all you want. Now go back to the swampland and then back to the other area you got control back after the cutscenes. So basically go back 2 screens. Yeah, chaff grenades by the way. So if you're trying to lob grenades and there's enemies in this area, the grenades will kind of alert them. Not trigger an alert, but obviously they'll hear something, they'll come to investigate. But chaff grenades are silent. If you lob a chaff grenade, it will not make any noise. So if you're trying to lob it at something, but you don't want to alert enemies, use a chaff grenade. That's what we're going to be using in this next area. So back here, again, roll across the alligator, roll across to the middle island, and then roll across to the next one. So this next area, we'll have a bunch of enemies again, but we're only going to knock out one enemy. We're going to get 2 collectibles, knock out an enemy, and then quickly run past the rest without triggering them, because there's no need. So when you first come in, remember, use chaff grenades because they're silent, and make sure you got that grenade camo equipped. Remember, always equip the grenade camo when you're using grenades, unless I advise otherwise. So there's your first Gecko. Lob it. Yeah, chaff grenade, remember, that's it. Now come up here. Remember, timing's very important. Now as you come around here, go right. Now that enemy should be walking towards that big tree that you can climb. So keep right so you can get behind him. Remember, you get too close to the side of him, he might spot you. That's it. Knock him out, CQC slam. Climb up this tree. Then once you're on the branch, turn around and you see the Kerotan on the nearby kind of rocks, the hill. And again, you're going to lob a chaff grenade at it. There you go. That's it. And then run forward, so you jump off the branch automatically. Yeah, run forward, you'll get off quicker. Now come around here, make sure you got a good camo index now, because you're going to be running past some enemies. So there's an enemy there on the right, and then we're just going to run past this tree, guys, and up to the north exit. Yeah, just keep an eye on your camo, because sometimes you'll be just running over like a small patch of like dark ground or something, and it might upset your camo index. So just keep an eye on your camo index. If it looks like you're in a different kind of terrain, always change it. So it's quite important. Right in here, yeah, make sure you've got a good camo index. and then quickly run around here. That's it. Slide down behind these enemies. Do not get too close. Normally, if you're within about 10 meters, they'll hear something. Just stay away. And when you go across this bridge, stay in the middle. If you're too far left or too far right, you'll fall off a sight. If that happens, just reload and try again. Straight across the bridge. Drop off here. Press circle. Then when you press circle, quickly spam X and you'll grab the ledge below when you drop to it. That's it. Press circle and spam X, grab this one below. Grab these 3 items. You got live medicine. Remember, do not use live medicine. Do not use them, so avoid Foxhound. Yeah, live medicine, uniform, raindrop, camouflage, and smoke grenades. Now, shimmy along the wall, and then so you can see some of this enemy when he turns around. Do not hang off a ledge and go across, because it ruins your camo index. Shimmy across the wall at that point, and then come around here. I forgot to do it here, but equip your grenade camo, guys, and try to be quick, so guys on the back on the other side might spot something. So yes, remember to equip your grenade camo, use chaff grenades, and get that Kerotan and the Gakko on the sill. The Kerotan and the Gakko, that's it. Use chaff grenades. Once you've got them both, go into the next area. That's it, into Rassvet. There should be a last area. Once this area is done, we'll go into the next one, guys, and make a save, and that'll be part 1 done. Yeah, it'll be 7 videos in total. It's not going to be long, about 3.5 hours will be platinum. Similar to the one I did for Massive Collection. Right, so we're going to come up here. We're going to get the AK-47. Now we're going to use that to shoot some collectibles. So get the AK-47. That's it. And the Kerotan will be underneath the stairs. So I'm just going to equip that. Now the AK is quite heavy. So once we've used it here, we're going to unequip it. So like I say, it will make your stamina drain faster due to having more weight. Yeah, there's the Kerotan. Shoot that. And then shoot the Gakko up there on top of that building. That's it, and that's a Gakko. That's it. Now you can unequip the AK, guys, like I say, because it will drain your stamina a bit quicker. Right, up here, grab this cardboard box. You might see me grabbing weapons we don't really need. Because I've kind of adapted my old guide a little bit, I'm changing things up, but I've left most weapons in here. So grab a mine detector, come through here. Now before you go back through the door, make sure you grab a thermal goggles from its locker. That's it, grab the thermal goggles, they're going to come in very useful throughout the game. That's it, come back in here, trigger a cutscene. Right, this next bits, you need to follow me very closely, make a save if you want to. Right, so as soon as you get control back, and this control does take a bit getting used to. So equip your Mark 22 and your M19. You want to hold L2 to draw your weapon. Yeah, the Mark 22 we're going to be using. We want to trank the enemies. Remember, we cannot kill any humans. You can kill dogs and other animals, just not humans. So hold L2 with a Mark 22. Press R1, go into first person, then hold R3 to go into your tiptoes. And then you can just see an enemy. Do not move. You can see this enemy just from where you spawn. That's it. Shoot him in the head, guys, to knock him out. Do not take too long. If you mess it up, you can actually try to shoot him later when we go underneath this room in a second. Or you can just reload, try it again. Now come under the bed. Equip your grenade camo and the stun grenades. That's it. You're going to lob 2 grenades in here. Do not lob more than 2. Lob only 2. If you lob 3, the enemies will be alerted. I don't know why, but 3 grenades in quick succession will alert all the enemies. Just lob 2. That's it. I normally lob 1 close, just in the doorway. Lob 1 close and then 1 far. That's it. 2 grenades like that once you kick the door down. Then you drop down here underneath, and then I knock out that enemy next. In that first enemy I mentioned, so you can also knock him out down here. That's what I say. If you can't manage to hit him through that window at the start, do it down here. You can do them both. I like to get him, before the other enemies come into rooms. It normally takes him like a minute or 2. And when you shoot him through this light metal grate, try not to shoot the bits of metal because it will deflect your bullets. I don't think it did in the original, but it does in this one. Yeah, so there you go. Nice, easy headshot. You remember, the Mark 22 on new style has bullet drop, so you kind of got to make sure you're close to make sure your bullets are effective. Now we're going to crawl over to this opening, and you see an enemy in the southeast corner. I'm just going to get to the opening, then I'm going to try to headshot him twice. Now that bullet would have dropped, probably hit him in the chest, but just shoot him, aim at the head twice and shoot. That'll be 2 shots to the chest, and that will knock him out after about 5 seconds. That's it. And then come to this wall in the corner, bang on it like that to get the attention of the enemy on the roof. Then you want to come to this window, and you want to stand on your tiptoes And when it comes to the end here, you're going to knock him out, guys. It's very, very tricky knocking this guy out on new style, especially with the bullet drop as well. Because on my old guy, we used to lean out to the side, but you can't now on new style. So I can do that one. That's it. Just getting through the window. When he comes to the corner, like I say, make sure you're in tiptoe so he don't spot you. That's it. Now make way back west, but keep to the right as you do so. Otherwise, the far northwest enemy might spot you or spot something. Yeah, keep to the right. Obviously, change your camera a bit. Make way towards that opening we came in earlier. Now you want to go into prone here and knock out that enemy through that little gap. There you go. Just knock him out. Now it's one more left. Now this enemy, the enemy's a little bit more alert now, so if you get too close they can spot you quickly. So you're going to hold L1 to go into stalking mode when you get close. That's it, like this. When you get within about 10 steps, hold L1 and as you can see Sam in from behind, guys, and that's it. That's all the enemies knocked out on new game without too much trouble. The worst enemy was probably that one on the roof. That took me ages to figure out. I tried a lot of different things. Yeah, but in the end, it just seemed easier to knock on the wall and shoot him through that window. Yeah, that just seemed to be the easier way. And then once you're all knocked out, try to exit. There'll be a cutscene. You will assume control back there, guys. And then before we leave this area, we just want to grab a zombie camo. Yeah, zombie camo just around the back of this building. There we go. Go to the next area, we'll make a save, and that'll be it for part 1. So what I'm going to do between episodes, I'm just going to show you my records so you can see all my current statistics, so you can kind of check that with your own, see if we're kind of on track, you know, with the guide and stuff. So yes, here we are. So I'm going to make a save. That's part 1 done. And then I'll show you my records, and then that'll be it, guys, until part 2 tomorrow. Yeah, 7 videos, not going to take long, like a week, and this will be finished. And I'll put all of them into one and make one complete video as well. So there you go, that's my records now, guys. Saves don't matter, remember, but continues alert. Basically everything else does, just not your saves. So that'll be it for part 1. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on part 2 tomorrow.